Welcome to Fluffy Ferrets, the story of how Noctis almost killed himself. Yeah, the Floof fam saved his life. We went to visit the Floof fam, and Noctis was hit or miss on if he was behaving like a good boy or not. So sometimes he stayed in the craft room during the night, because that way we didn't wake up to someone getting beaten up in the middle of the night because this boy got aggressive. Are you trying to shrimp? Noctis has always had a preferred palate for chewing on the controller nubules, you know, like on a PlayStation 4 or a Switch little controller. Just the little rubber tips on the end, right here. See that one? They're his favorite. I am really good at keeping them out of his reach now, and I've caught him chewing them before because I always remember, I sense it, like my spider senses are tingling. But I had my stuff in the craft room that he was in. In this bag specifically, I thought I had it zipped up, but apparently I didn't. So the other day in the morning, I go in there and I see these all over the floor. Okay, if you see this weird color, it's because it has glue on it, because I've tried to glue nubs on them before. I got the right ones that fit, but it doesn't help because he still chews them. Car. So, if you notice, one controller in the pink size has the nub, the green sign does not. That's one. Then, the other set of controllers I have is on the floor. Neither of these have nubs on them. So that's a total of 3 nubs that are missing. I come out of the room bawling my eyes out because I'm like, oh my god, he's gonna die. I haven't had, thankfully, a ferret with a blockage yet, and I would prefer not to go through that right now. But he had 3 controller nubs inside him. I knew it because I couldn't find them anywhere. I cleaned all over the floor. I cleaned any of the poop that was in that room. I even went through the poop in that room. The nubs were missing, which means they were in here. And Celis was in there with him, and Floof fan asked her, could she have? And I'm like, no, it's him. It's definitely him. So I'm bawling, and she's like, it's okay. Mr. Papa Floof fam is trying to tell me, our ferrets have gotten into something once or twice and it's probably just chewed up tiny pieces. It'll probably be okay. I'm like, it's not just like, it's okay. We're gonna go through with the pumpkin protocol. I don't know what it's called. So she sent Papa Floof fam out, and he got a can of pumpkin, smushy pumpkin. Nothing else in it, literally just pumpkin. And I know, carnivores. Also though, he ate controller nubs. So she told me to mix a tablespoon of pumpkin puree and Vaseline. And I'm not sure what I'm doing, so I'm smushing up, and I gave it to him. Weirdly enough, he ate it without too much trouble. Like it was a delicacy. I did touch it to my tongue out of curiosity. Not something I would be into. But he was eating it with not really much problem. He didn't like if he got a chunk of Vaseline. He's like, He got halfway to the point and he's like, I don't want to eat this anymore, Mama. And I'm like, you have to. So I did little light scruff like this. And when I did this and I held it in front of him, he just gave me a kissy. He thinks that that's it now. So he ate it, and I had to repeat this every hour, and I felt so bad. He went and he was sulking, but I also felt bad because he had 3 controller nubs inside and it was just a hot mess. And then at some point we're in the living room 2.5, 3 hours after this has all started, and we hear a sound. And we couldn't figure out what it was, and then I realized it was him crying in the other room. He had pooped himself. I don't know the scientifics between it, but the Vaseline and the pumpkin, one of them makes his inside slippery, the other one made him poop a lot. And he basically was pooping himself because everything was just get out. So then I started having to go through his poop, which started looking like just the pumpkin that had been in the can, looked just like his poop, because this is a great story. I hope you're not eating. And I start finding pieces of controller. Technically, Floof fam started finding pieces of controller first, while I'm freaking out that he's crying, and I'm like, it's okay, baby. So she's going through, and we find 1/3 of one controller. Then we find one whole, the controllers broke down to, we found all of them basically. It broke down to one controller nub was broken into 3 pieces. The second controller nub was in 2 pieces. And the third one that we found came out almost 100% intact, but with chew marks on it because he's a savage and he eats like his mama, and we are like dinosaurs. We poop you? That's my dinosaur. I had to finish the sound. We eat like whole prey, and we're like, that face. So, let me just give you a better idea of these controller nubs. I have a bag of replacements. I don't know. I'm honestly, and Floo Femme is so sweet. She's like, my husband can fix them. He can fix the controllers. I'm like, I don't give a fuck about the controllers. Trust me, he ate them. I'm crying because he ate them. I know he did. You see this? You see this? It doesn't look big to a person. But this right here, see, little fucker, he did not learn his lesson. This is not how you become a gamer. This right here came out this. Size comparison. That's like, let me see the paw. That's like the paw size. So picture you pooped out something the size of your hand. That's what happened to him. If it hadn't been for the pumpkin and the Vaseline we stopped after like 2 hours and we just did a lot of pumpkin. Like after he started crying because the Vaseline was like, get it out. After that we had just done the regular pumpkin, and then once we found, like literally we had to dig through poop to make sure we had 3 whole nubules because they were so big he definitely would have had a fucking blockage. He would have ended up in fucking surgery for being stupid. I can't emotionally handle that. So if we hadn't have been with Floo Femme, who knew exactly what to do, this little idiot would have died. Like, we caught it early, we got through the process, everything came out, but like, I think that's something important to know. If you find something and you're pretty sure, like, you make sure your ferret has eaten the thing, like, but if he has, you do that, I guess. The pumpkin and the Vaseline. I'm sure you can look up stuff or ask people who are smarter than me. I'm like, it did a thing, and but it cleared him out, and it was the only thing that I think I could have done at home that would have saved him. Because if it wasn't for her, my dumb little boy right here, my favorite dumb little boy, I don't know what we would have done. So thank you so much to the Floo Fam. I'm gonna do not cry with makeup on. My eyes are getting watery. You can't see it because I have glare. But if not for Papa Floof and Mama Floof, this Fluffy would not be here, I don't think. Or we'd be in surgery right now, and it has not been the best month, and I don't think I am emotionally capable of handling that. Even right now, just recalling what happened is making me almost cry because it's very upsetting. Okay, so that was the story. That was the story of my idiot son and his stupid eating of controller nubs. Now I gotta go re-ferret proof the house. What is it? Harry Potter? The stupid thing. There's a guy with one eyeball and he's like, constant vigilance. Guess what? Constant vigilance. That's what having these are. Constant freaking vigilance. Don't you go down where the controllers are. So he went right over to them. You little shit. So I hope that gives you guys advice. So if something happens and your little baby ends up eating something they're not supposed to, you don't just panic like I do, break down and cry and get nothing accomplished, but you find Vaseline, and I don't know if it was pureed, it was a can of pumpkin, and you find a way to get that through them and work through what it is, and you're gonna have to sift through poop. But honestly, whew, hey, leggings, he's worth it. He's worth sifting through poop, but you gotta not eat the controllers. Yeah.